Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, so my name's Eric Johnson, creator and CEO of Teamzy. We are definitely going to have some fun tonight. Here's what I have planned for you. I'm going to show you Teamzy. It sounds like you guys are using it, so you've already seen it, which is great. But I will take you through and show you what I think are the best workflows for crushing a power hour, how to follow up like a pro. And I'm going to give you a little coaching in there as we go too. But the thing that's really on my heart to talk to you about first is about the system that Teamzy's built on, because Teamzy is a software tool that helps you be efficient, right? But it's based on an approach and a system to doing business. I call it relationship marketing. I'm going to teach you a little bit about that tonight so you understand really the philosophy behind the software. And this software, I designed it to make you be able to kind of do it by accident, the system that I've been teaching for 18 years. So I've got a little bit of a teach, and then we'll jump into Teamzy, and then we'll do an open Q&A at the end if you guys have questions. Sound good? And we are recording, so we can have the recording for the rest of the team who didn't make it on tonight. Okay, so here's what I want to talk to you about first. How to systemize your success with relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. There's 3 chunks to that, right? First of all, we're going to systemize your success, so nobody falls through the cracks, any of that stuff. We're going to teach you how to do it by relationships, so you never feel like an icky salesperson. And we're going to help you get it all done in less than an hour a day, so you can go be with your kids, your family, whatever you want to do. Sound good? All right, so let me give you my backstory. My background is actually not in direct sales or network marketing. My background is as a professional business coach and consultant. I've been helping people build their business based on relationship marketing for the past 18 years. I fell into network marketing by accident. How many of you guys that was the case? I found some products that have really helped me personally. I loved them. And I was just telling people, people were saying, oh my gosh, what are you doing? You have so much energy. You look so great, whatever. And I was just telling them, and I wasn't getting paid. I wasn't a distributor or anything like that. And I was really skeptical about doing that. I was just excited about the products. And finally, my wife told me I was being a dummy for not getting paid for all these people I was telling about this product anyways. Right? Some of you guys can relate to that. So I looked into it, and I saw the business plan. I thought, this actually makes a lot of sense. It's like getting a business without having to invest anything or risk anything. What a great idea. The problem that I had was, I needed that extra source of income, because we were at a point in our lives where we were kind of stuck financially. I know some of you guys can probably relate to that feeling. I've got 4 kids. My family's amazing. I had a full-time career. I was busy all the time, just always busy, but we weren't getting ahead financially. And when the recession hit in 2009, I was laid off from my dream job. And then I found work, and a couple of years later, laid off again. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I could just lose my job for no reason at any moment. And so I really started looking for another stream of income in my life. The problem that I had was I just didn't have very much time. How many of you guys, that's a big challenge. And so when I looked at the calendar, I said, I could maybe do this business if I could get it done in an hour a day. And so I started looking for tools to help me leverage that 1 hour that I had to build my business. And you guys know the story. That's why you're talking to me. There weren't any tools for our business. I couldn't believe it. And so I took some guys smarter than me to Panera Bread for coffee, and it drew it out in a notebook. Seriously, it was really ugly. And we built Teamzy, and that's kind of what happened. It was like, other people must need this too. And then we've been out now for about 3.5 years. And in that time, we've had more than 97,000 network marketers use Teamzy. It's blowing my mind, because honestly, we launched this with a $200 Facebook ad, right? And it's just taken off. Just like you guys discovered it, and now all of a sudden the team's on fire. That's what's happening all across the industry, which has been amazing. And to give you an idea of the type of results people are getting with Teamzy, the people who are using it consistently, our active users, they're averaging 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. How many of you guys would like that? Yeah. So I'm going to show you exactly what to do tonight. You just do what I'm showing you, and those will be the typical results. Okay. So let's dive into this presentation. What is relationship marketing? Have you guys ever heard the term relationship marketing before? It's kind of turning into a buzzword recently. However, I think it's kind of misused by most people. Here's what I want you to know about relationship marketing. First and foremost, it's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. Okay, it's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. It's not an abstract feel-good concept. This is a proven system that we follow, always knowing what to do next. How many of you just want to know what to do next? Honestly, anybody ever work in fast food? Little side note. I worked at Burger King when I was 14 to 16. I went to Burger King University. I learned the system. I found it's incredibly liberating to know there's a system to follow, right? And there is in our business too. I'm going to show it to you. It's Teamzy. So what is relationship marketing? Also, beyond being a philosophy and a system, it's a lead generation system. Relationship marketing is a lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. Kind of a dull, dry definition. What you need to know is this. Your business is not marketing and selling Mary Kay products. Your business is generating leads. You are the owner of a business, and that's what an owner of a business's job is. You're in the lead generation business. Okay, as the owner of your business, that's your job, is to bring leads to the business. Now, just a mindset shift. Next principle, though, leads into this. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Okay, so let me summarize this so far. You're in the lead generation business, and developing relationships is your number one priority. So what does this mean? You need to meet people and build relationships with them. Duh, right? Meet people and build relationships with them. But listen, I want you guys to know this is kind of turning everything on its head that's being taught out there, because they're telling us we should meet people and try to sell them something. Or we should meet people and try to recruit them to our team. And what I'm telling you is your job, first and foremost, is to build relationships. And there's an important reason why, and this. We turn relationships into advocates. We turn relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. There are a lot of people that will not be interested in buying your products or joining your team. But if you invest in that relationship, they will become your advocate. They will tell people about your business. They will introduce people to your business all the time. This is what people are missing. They're focusing on the yeses and realizing that everybody else is willing to bring people to your business for you. What would it be like if you had an army of advocates building your business for you? The ones who aren't interested, right? Okay, next principle. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't gonna work. This system will not work for you. Have you guys come across anybody in the business that's a little shady here and there? Of course, we all have our guard up because of the way we've been approached in network marketing in the past. The same thing goes for your friends and family, the people you're talking to. Relationship marketing does not allow you to do any of that weird stuff. You can't. The whole thing falls apart if you're not building trust. So any of the things that made you feel icky or uncomfortable that you've been asked to do or that you've seen somebody successful do, just know in this system that won't work. You need to be authentic. You need to be real all the time. Who's happy to hear that? This way is actually easier too, you guys. Trust makes the work fun. See, when people start to trust you, it's fun to help them. They just want to be helped. You don't have to sell them or convince them. You just get right to helping them. Also, trust takes away the ickiness. There's no icky salesperson syndrome happening when people are trusting you. Does it make sense? How many of you are terrified of being seen as the icky salesperson? Or you can't stand the icky salesperson when they come at you? So you build trust, and that's not an issue. And finally, you get to go for yes. Everybody's always focused on this whole go for no thing. Like, hey, I'm just going to ask everybody. And most people will say no, and that's okay because I'm getting closer to a yes. Have you guys heard that type of thing before? Can I just call BS on that? No's don't get you closer to yeses, right? No's don't get you closer to yeses. So in this system, we're not going for no's. We're going for yeses. We're building relationships. Every interaction's a positive one. It's all good. Make sense? And you're going to be yes to my customer, yes to my team, or yes to my advocate. You pick 1, 2, or 3, or all 3. Okay? How to build trust. So how do we do this? There are 4 essential ingredients to building trust. I'll share them with you tonight. So no matter what happens, you're going to be able to leave with this tool, okay, to use in your business. Here we go. Number 1 is chemistry. Number 2 is character. Okay, character. Number 3, competence. Okay, competence. And number 4 is consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. Okay? All right, let's break these out for you. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Bottom line, nobody wants to do business with someone they don't like, right? And we want to do business with friends. So find out what you have in common with people. Build some rapport. Find the chemistry. Okay. And we live in a social media driven world, especially our business. Our business is social media driven, right? Thankfully, what a gift it is, right? But this may go without saying, but your job is to find things in common. So make sure you're not creating content that divides. That's for people who have jobs, not for people who own their own business. Are you with me? You unite, be a uniter so that you can build chemistry across the board and help as many people as possible. Number 2 is character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Okay, character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Notice something about this definition. You don't actually have character. Character is something you do. Oh, people nodding. Oh, wow, I never thought of it that way. We think of character as something that we own, but it's not. It's an action we take. And if somebody questions our character, the first thing we do is get offended, right? I do. But then we have to remind ourselves, you know what? How would this person know my character? I am not, if I haven't demonstrated my care for them yet. This is so huge. Let me see the hands of the people who it's important when you do business with somebody or a business that they have good character. It's a big deal, right? Even if you have a product that you love, when you find out that business doesn't have good character, doesn't it turn you off? Character is everything for building trust. You guys, you are your brand. Your character is what matters. And this is a 24/7 thing. You need to be demonstrating character, demonstrating your care for others at all times. Not just in your Mary Kay business, taking care of your customers, taking care of your team. Like how are you showing up on the highways? Are you a crazy maniacal driver? Are you right? Are you road raging? Probably not. You guys don't look like road raging people, but you get the idea, right? Do you return the dang shopping cart in the parking lot? Like, are you showing care and character in everything that you do? And once you really start becoming intentional, by the way, you feel a lot better about who you are as a person. It's amazing when you start going, wait a second, I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to do that right now because that's not who I am. That's not my character. It starts to edit yourself as you go. This is important though, because as you demonstrate character in everything that you do, it builds trust for the people looking to do business with you. Number 3 is competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Okay. Competence is when you demonstrate that you're good at what you do and you're a business person. There's 2 pieces to this. The first one is, if I want to be your customer, do I believe you understand enough about your product to help me? Can you help me solve my problem? Right? I heard a term today for the first time because I'm not really in network marketing. I'm not really in the network marketing know as far as the way people talk, but the term was called a pity sale. Have you ever heard that term, a pity sale? I never heard that before. I thought it was pretty funny. So we can get some pity sales without having without being competent, right? But if you really want customers to come to you to help you solve their problems, they want to know that you know what you're talking about, that you've learned all about your products and about your competition and about how it works, right? The second half of this is, if I want to join your team, I need to know that you are a competent business person who can mentor me to be successful, right? I need to be seeing this competence demonstrated. Now, this is really important. So I want you guys to know, I don't know all your stories. Some of you may be really successful. Some of you may be brand new. So you're going to be at different levels of competence. What I don't want you to do is run off and pretend you're something you're not. Don't fake it. Okay. You need to let people know where you're at. I'm brand new, but here's what you do when you're brand new. 2 things. 1, commit to learning and getting better. Number 2, when you're brand new, is you talk about your team and their competence. You lean into your team. I'm brand new, but I'm part of this amazing team of incredibly knowledgeable people. Any question you have, I can get the answer for you. Oh, you want to join the business? Awesome. I'm being mentored by the best, and so will you when you join us. Okay? And so you lean into your team. You tell their stories until you have your own. Okay? And leaders, you need to be really involved in helping shore up the competence of the people that you serve, your team. Make sure you're available to talk to their prospects and get on your 3-way calls and all that stuff. Okay. Chemistry, character, competence, the first three ingredients to building trust. There's a principle that underlies these, and we'll jump to number 4. Here's the principle. When somebody's going to do business with you, they really only care about these 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? And these are, I call these heart questions because they're not really asked out loud. They're just felt, right? But when somebody knows in their heart that these are all 3 true, you now have an advocate. You have an advocate. And when they don't know the answers to these questions, they'll have a lot of questions and objections that you need to overcome. Okay? Now, here's the thing. That's okay. But just know, okay, I need to continue investing in this relationship so that I can build trust with this person over time. Make sense? Okay. Number 4 is consistency. You want me to trust you? Be consistent. Make sense? How many of you have kids? Let me see the parents. Is it important to be consistent? Even if you don't have kids, would it have been important for your parents to be consistent? Yeah. It's super important. Look, for those of you who do have littles or have raised littles, like if you can do that, you can lead a team in this business. It's very much the same thing. People don't change. Like a 3-year-old, it has the same personality as a 40-year-old. They just have less experience. It's amazing. Consistency is how we build trust more than anything. People say, oh, great, you're doing Mary Kay. Good for you. Let's see if she's still doing it 6 months from now. Right? They want to see that you're consistent, that you mean it, that you're really committed to this, that it's your passion. And that's okay. And so you need to show people that you're being consistent. You need to do things like being a product to your product. How many of you are good products to your product? Yeah. And you need to share your journey. Let people know that you're consistently sharing on social media. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm helping. Oh, look at this. This is what we're doing this week, et cetera, et cetera. This is the journey I'm on. These are the people that I'm meeting. This is the community I'm joining. How many of you guys are good about sharing on social media your journey consistently? I got no hands on that one. That's another training. You'll have to have me back for that one. I want you guys to know that if you're on a mission to help people and change lives through your business, you can't keep it a secret. Well, that's another topic too, but you can't keep it a secret. Here's a principle here. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. In other words, not only does it build trust when you're consistent, but people want to be around you for it. It's kind of attractive, isn't it? Think of somebody you know that's just really dependable and consistent in some way. Often we call them inspiring, don't we? Have any of you been told you're inspiring? Yeah, it'll happen more when you're consistent on the social media stuff. It will, because people will see you doing stuff like, wow, look at what she's doing. People are inspired and attracted to consistency. So when you can get focused on being consistent, then you will find that not only will people trust you, but they'll start to really want to be around you and get connected to what you're doing. But here's the real checkup from the neck up, as one of my mentors, Zig Ziglar, always used to say. Are you as consistent with staying in touch with people that you know, staying consistent with your relationships? This is what matters the most, right? We can post on social, we can use our products, that's great, but staying in touch with people, that's what really makes a difference in our business. Relationship building is a contact sport. And I don't mean you need to hit people, tackle them. I mean, you need to be in contact with them, okay? Sometimes it's a contact sport. That's more marriage. Okay, so anyways, we're not gonna go there. You have to be in regular contact with people. I know your time is scarce, which is why we built Teamzy, and you guys are using it. You know how easy it makes it to connect with people. But I need you to get this principle. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. And deepening relationships is how we build an army of advocates. Okay, real quick on this. Again, if you guys have cameras, turn them on for me so I can see you for a second. How many of you have ever, oh, most of you have them now. That's great. How many of you have ever received a great card from somebody that you care about that had a handwritten message in it that when you read that message, it just got you right in the heart? How many of you guys have ever received a card like that? Everybody? Hopefully. Okay, good. If you've never received a card like that, put your address in the chat so we can write you one. We all need to have those. Okay, now you guys all probably thought of one in particular when you raised your hand. Do you still have that card somewhere? Have you saved it? How many of you have a place where you keep like the special cards and letters stashed? We all do this. Isn't this amazing? Last night I was on a call with a team in Northern Ireland in the UK. They save them there too. Go figure, right? So here's the thing. We save those forever. And often when we pass away, that's what's most treasured by our loved ones, isn't it? Those cards and letters that we saved. How many of you have a card or letter from somebody that you love that's passed on and you've kept it? These things are priceless, right? They're so incredibly valuable. Now, here's another example. This is a happy birthday postcard. Wait, here we go. Happy birthday. See? This one's from my life insurance salesperson. Have you guys ever received one of these postcards from somebody? Your dentist? My dog used to get one of these from the vet for her birthday. Do you guys get these? How many of you save these in a special place with those beloved? No, these get thrown in the trash right away, right? Pretty much. It's like, oh, that's nice. I actually have, how many of you guys drive into your house with your car? That's instead of going through your front door. Does anybody do that where you drive into the garage and then close it and that's how you enter your house? I'm in California. That's how we all enter our house. So in my garage, I have a recycling bin right next to my car door where I get out of the car. So when I get the mail, I'm like, half the mail goes in the recycling bin before it even makes it in. This wouldn't even make it in the house is what I'm saying if I wasn't going to make fun of it on this call. But here's what I want you guys to understand, why this has no value. Because it violates the two pieces of the principle I just taught you. This required no investment of time. There's no value because there's no time invested. It's an automated thing. And it's not personal. It's not a personal connection. It's bulk. This doesn't even have my name on it. Look, if I show you what it says here's to another great year of you. It doesn't even say, Dear Eric, right? It's not personal. It required no investment of time. The card, personal investment of time, priceless. This is an important thing I want you guys to understand. Do you need to be writing cards all day long? No. I mean, if you can think of a good reason, it's a great thing to do. People will keep them. But just reaching out and messaging somebody, texting somebody one-on-one, 3 seconds out of your day to send them a personal message, it's enough to make their day. In some cases, in a huge way. And if you guys have been using Teamzy for a few weeks, probably all of you have had at least one experience where you like blown away by the impact it made and the timing of that message, right? So I want you guys to know this is important to understand because in our industry, we are bombarded with offers for automated marketing. You guys, automatic. This is what automated marketing feels like when you receive it. It doesn't have value. It's clearly automated. This business is built person to person. That's why I built Teamzy, to make it easy for you to connect with people. Does that make sense? So that you can be really effective and efficient with that, but still be connecting with people one-on-one, which is how we build our business. Okay, so let's dive back in here. I have a tendency to over make my points, but that's okay. All right, so that's the principle. If you want to deepen relationships, you need to invest time and connect with people personally. So this is all great, but you got to have a system to it. You can't just go based on philosophy. You need a way to stay in contact with all your relationships so that nobody gets missed. We want to know when to contact people so you don't have to think. Just tell me today, Eric, who am I contacting? Know what you're going to say ahead of time so that you don't spend all day staring at the screen trying to think up the perfect message. How many of you guys are guilty of that sometimes? Yeah, me too. Until I finally figured out some easy ways to start conversations, which I put in Teamzy for you. So we'll talk about that in a second. And make sure that nobody ever falls through the cracks. In our business, 80% of the people that are like good, qualified, interested people fall through the cracks. 80%. That's crazy, right? But after tonight, you guys, that won't be happening for you. You guys will be ready to go, okay? All right. So let me stop this real quick. We'll jump into Teamzy. So you guys are is everybody using Teamzy that's on the call? Okay. So I'm going to like shorten my setup portion and spend a little more time on the power hour section. Okay. But I'm going to go through it a little bit because I know people are going to watch this recording who aren't using Teamzy. So we want to make sure they get the training. All right. So let's see here. Actually, hold on. Let me do one thing real quick. So first off, let me just say for everybody as I'm getting to the correct page, that if you're not using Teamzy, you go to teamzy.com and you can get a free trial for 30 days. Okay, and we don't ask for a credit card, payment information, or anything like that because we just want you to use it for 30 days and get full benefit out of it. Then you can decide if you want to continue with us. So Teamzy.com, choose the Mary Kay version and go for it. Okay, here it is right here. Here's the Teamzy setup wizard. When you first log in for the first time, you'll be inside the setup wizard. This is designed to make it really easy to set up. I'm going to breeze through this really quick. There's a little video there from me. You guys have me live tonight, so you don't have to watch that. All right. And the first real thing we want to do is set an income goal. How much income would you like to be making from your business? Okay. So whatever your income goal is, you can move this little slider. If you set a huge goal, you're going to have to work really hard for it. If you set a modest goal, it's going to be pretty reasonable. Okay. So I'm going to set my goal to where it actually was in my business, which was $150,000 a year. That's what I wanted. Okay. Cause that was the income that I had that I wanted to replace so I could be with my kids instead of never seeing my kids, which was my life. Okay, so at 150,000, Teamzy tells me exactly what to do every day, 5 days a week. Connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, and 4 consultants on my team. Okay, now I'm pretty fast using Teamzy, and if you guys have been using it a few weeks, you're probably getting fast too. That's 19 people. That should be easily done in less than 30 minutes, right? I can do it in about 15, but let's say 30 for sake of argument. That's still pretty good, right? 150 grand a year for 30 minutes work. All right, let's continue. When I click the continue button, it sets Teamzy up to those goals. So now when we get to my dashboard, you'll see it's customized to the goals we just set. The next step here is to get all your contacts into Teamzy. You want all your contacts in one place. So you're not looking for pads of paper, sticky notes, rifling through your phone or Instagram, trying to remember who to talk to. Get them all into Teamzy so it's organized in one place. Teamzy lives in the cloud, which means that it's in your phone always. So you don't have to go, you can't lose it, right? I mean, how many of you lose your mind if you lost your phone? Yeah, your phone's always nearby. So you meet somebody, you put them in Teamzy. It's right there. You don't have to copy it in later or log it. It's right there. You talk to somebody, pull out Teamzy and log it right then and there. You've always got it in your pocket. Okay, so here's the Teamzy dashboard. And
quick question. Are you guys developing like an actual app, or are you guys just having like the online dashboard?
I like that. An actual app. We are developing an app, but we have a mobile website that you can use on your phone right now that works awesome, mobile. So,
okay.
So what you do to get to the mobile website is you go, if you're on iPhone, you go to Safari. If you're on every other phone, you go to Chrome. And you just, in the address, you put in app.teamzy.com. And then you'll find the mobile site. And what you do is you can just bookmark that, add it to your home screen so it's there whenever you need it. Most people are using it on their phones mobile primarily. And I'll show you that screen when we get to the end. When we're in Q&A. I'll plug my phone in and you can see it. Okay, so here's the dashboard set up to my goals. Connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, and 4 consultants. You can see I've got zeros. I haven't done anything yet. Okay, and when I say connect, I just want to clarify. I'm not trying to cold message them or invite them to a party when I haven't talked to them since high school, or ask them if they take a look at this incredible business opportunity. Nothing like that. I just want to connect to make their day. Okay, we call it the Make Someone's Day Connect. I want you to live in the Make Someone's Day mindset. So I'll show you how easy it is, just a little icebreaker to make their day, to get started, okay? Now, the next goal here is share. So you can see I've got a goal that's 3 a day to share. That's when I actually share a product or share the business opportunity with somebody. Okay, so I'm gonna start 19 conversations and I hope to find 3 opportunities to share. See, I'm gonna kind of generate some interest first before I talk about it. And then I've got a goal to add new people to Teamzy every day, just to keep it fresh. Okay, real simple. So those are my daily dashboard goals. Okay. Excuse me. Now, when I go to do my power hour, it sets it up for me. My power hour shows me on the left side who to connect with. I've got 4 lists: prospects, customers, consultants, and my follow-ups list. Okay. On the right-hand side is where I log the message as I go so that I don't have to do any homework later. It's done as I go. All right. I know you guys are using this. You know all this stuff. One thing I want to point out is on the left-hand side of each name is a number. That's the star rank or star rating of each relationship in Teamzy. The star rating is important because that allows Teamzy to intelligently create my list for me automatically every day without me ever having to plan or think. Okay, so let me just show you how to do that really quick, and then we'll do the power hour. So I'm gonna go over to the team page. That's where my full list lives. The team page is where all my contacts are, okay? And here, if I click on anybody, then I have all their information on the right-hand side. And you can see when I click on Kathy, for example, that it opens up her star rating, and I can change it just by clicking on her. It just changes it and saves it. Now, if you want to, when you set up to do this really quickly and efficiently, you can go to this little menu and toggle rank mode, which turns it on for everyone on the list. Okay, so this lets me just scroll my list and do my ranks. Okay, so you want to go through your list one time. You don't have to go through it with a fine-tooth comb, but what I want you to do is pick out your favorite people, your strongest advocates, the people you feel best about, and rank them up to 5 and 4 stars. You'll notice that everybody in here is a 3-star because I just imported them tonight. So everyone comes in as a 3-star because most of your list will be 3 stars. But what you want to do is cherry pick your 4 and 5-star people and rank them up so that they come up first. So here's how this works really quick. A 5-star person, this is your like closest friends and family, your favorite people, and the people that you really feel like might be interested in becoming a customer joining the team. 5-star people are going to show up on the list first, and they're going to come back automatically every 30 days. You don't have to remember to set a follow-up or anything. They're just going to come back every 30 days. You're going to get reminded to message them and connect. 4-star people, these are your friends and family, just not your inner circle, right? They're also the people that you feel pretty good about. Like with a little nurturing, they might join the team or become a customer. 4-star people show up right after your 5-star people on your up next list, and they come back every 60 days. Okay, so it's just not quite as often. You're talking to them every 60 days. 3-star people, and again, most of the people on your list will be 3-star. You just don't know which way it's going to go until you start talking to them. So they're going to come up after the 5s and then after the 4s, and they come back every 90 days. So even though they're 3 stars, you're still going to talk to them automatically 4 times a year. You're going to stay in such good touch with them. Does this make sense? 2-star people, every 120 days, they cycle through. So the more stars you give somebody, they come up sooner and they come back more often. Make sense? And so the same is true for prospects, for your customers, and for your team members. You rate them all on how often and how strong that relationship is. So once you've done that, you don't have to save or anything. When you're done, you can just go back to the dashboard, it auto saves. And now you're ready to work in Teamzy every day without having to think or plan. It's just going to automatically cycle this list for us. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so here's how we do a power hour. So I'm going to start right now. I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to start with my prospects first. Always go left to right. Now look, that seems to make sense, but when you've been doing this for a couple months and that follow-ups list is full, you're going to really want to go right to left. But always go left to right, because as soon as you stop reaching out to prospects, a couple weeks later, you find you have nobody on the follow-ups list. Make sense? So you want to keep that going. Number one mistake people make when they start generating momentum is they take their foot off the gas. You want to keep it on there. Okay? And if you start getting overwhelmed, message me. I'll give you some coaching tips. Wouldn't that be great if you guys had to message me because you're overwhelmed with all the opportunities you're creating? I think that would be good. Okay. Here's Jay. She's the first person on my list. I'm going to message her. I've got Facebook open right here in a separate tab. I'm actually going to send her a Facebook message because that's what I'm going to do to connect with her today. I like to message people on Facebook because I get a really good response rate that way. But however you're messaging people, you can log it in Teamzy, text message, Instagram direct message, whatever, talking to people in person even. We still do that, right? But this is where I used to get stuck. What will I say to Jay? Oh my gosh, I haven't talked to her since high school. How am I going to reconnect with Jay? So see right here, it says scripts. Have you guys found the scripts already? Yeah, so when we launched Teamzy, we didn't have scripts, and people would message me all day and say, this is amazing, but I don't know what to say to people. So I said, okay, we'll put some scripts in. So we put these scripts in for you to use, and this is just to get you started and make it easy to connect with people. I'm going to grab the first one. It's called Connect Number 1. Here's how it reads. It says, hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. Super simple. So just copy the script, okay? Paste it in Teamzy so that I can edit it. You don't have to paste in Teamzy, but I do it there because I actually have sent the wrong name a bunch of times. So I do this just to make sure I don't mess it up. Have you guys done that yet? I'm putting some emoticons in here because I feel like every message needs emoticons. Raise your hand if you're addicted to emoticons. It's okay. It's great. Lets people know it's a happy message. So look, I've got it all set up now. I've got some emoticons. I've got the right name. So I'm going to just copy this and send it to her on Facebook. Okay, so who was that? It was Jay, Lisa Swain. There she is. Send the message. Okay, it's even easier on phone because you can toggle between apps much easier. Okay, so there it goes. It's sent. Now I'm going to log this activity and see where it says log connect. This is how you do it. You click on that and it's done. And you can see now I've got one done and my little circle's filling in. Kayla's next on my list. I'm just going to use that same script. It's already on my clipboard. Change the name. Okay. There she is. She doesn't have the shortcut. I got to go to her full page. You guys see how easy this is though? Okay, great. Super easy. Toggle back to Teamzy and log it. So I've got 2 done, 7 left. And I'm just going to keep going down my list, just banging through it. You can use that same script, just change the name. By the way, little pro tip, always put their name in the message. I know it's not really done in messaging, but it's really, it's a psychological thing. And Facebook won't, if you're doing Facebook messaging, for example, they won't think that it's the same message when you're changing it a little bit each time. Okay. So I'm going to go down my list on my prospects until I've hit my goal, which is 9. And when I have, that little blue circle will be all the way blue. That's my visual cue that I'm done with prospects. Then I'm going to go to customers, start connecting with customers. Okay. Now you may get responses immediately from some people. Don't run off and have the conversation yet. You'll get distracted. Just focus on getting all the outgoing messages done. Okay. It won't take that long. So the first customer on my list is Luis. I'm going to message Luis. Again, I'll just go to scripts to get an idea on what I could send to him. And there's some great, ideas here. Now, once you've been using Teamzy about 6 months, you probably won't use scripts anymore. You'll be so good at it, but in the beginning, it'll just kind of get you going. So something like, here's one. How are you enjoying the products? You put in whatever products he's using. Please send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. Okay. I love this one. Hi, Jane, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. When you're connecting with customers, you don't need to be selling them or managing the sale every time you connect with them. You just need to be in touch. Does this make sense? So look, I'm just going to change the name. You guys see how easy this is, right? Put a little smiley face, send it to them. Same thing, you're just going to work down your list, however many your goal was to connect with customers. By the way, if somebody's a past customer, I would treat them the same as somebody who's a brand new customer. Because there's no such thing in my life as a past customer. It's just somebody who's not currently purchasing from me, but they're still my customer. Make sense? To keep them in there because they will order again and again and again and again over the years. Okay. And sometimes a customer will be a customer on and off, and then they'll join the team. So you never know. Okay, so I'm going to go down my list and connect with my customers and stay in touch with them. This is a super easy system. You just put all your customers in. Every day you connect with a few. Make sense? Now, really quick on this, before I jump to number 3, which is your consultants. A couple of magical things will happen for your business when you're in regular contact with your customers. Okay. First of all, when you're in regular contact with your customers, they order more product and they retain longer. Okay. This is a statistical fact. They order more product and they retain longer. How many of you guys have ever waited tables or bartended? Let me see. Has anyone done that here? A couple people. How many of you have eaten in restaurants? Have you eaten in restaurants? Okay, so picture this. This is just an example. Picture this. You've gone to a beautiful restaurant. Let's say it's a special occasion, and it's like amazing. Everything's amazing. Have you guys ever been one of those places? And the food is like to die for. The service is excellent. The food comes out, and it's just, your mouth is watering just looking at it. And then your server never comes back. Changes the experience, doesn't it? Now, they're available, like let's say you had a little bell or something you could ring if you needed to get in touch with them, but they just don't ever come back. See, when they're present, you're more likely to order more. You're more likely to enjoy your meal more, right? And it's the same with anything. So when you're in regular contact, just being in contact, they'll order more and they'll retain longer. Okay. Now, the other thing is they're going to be, when they fall in love with products, they will naturally ask you, what else do they need to be getting? Which is pretty cool. How many of you guys have at least one customer that you just adore and you just want more customers? I wish I could clone this person, have more of this person. Can you guys think of somebody like that? How do you go find those people? Do you know where to go look for those people? I'm going to tell you. The best place to find a great customer is from a current customer that's great. Okay? Makes sense, right? Now, how are you going to get introduced to their friends? Step one is being in touch. But I want you to think about that customer. You guys all lit up and smiled when you thought about that person. That's why we're in this business, right? That person lit you up. That person is excited about your products. I guarantee you they're talking to people about them. True? 86% of people make their purchasing decisions based on the recommendation of a friend. So your customer that you were thinking of is talking about Mary Kay. The question is, are you getting introduced to the people they're talking to? Okay. So you need to be in regular contact so you can ask them, hey, who have you been talking to that needs my help? I'd be happy to help them. Why don't you introduce us so that I can get them some more information? But if you haven't messaged them in 6 months since they made their purchase, it's going to be kind of awkward when you message them and say, could you introduce me to your friends and family? They're like, why? I don't want them to get the lousy service. Make sense? So just start by being in regular contact with your customers. Not only that, you're going to feel really good about it. Going back to that whole thing about character, you're going to feel great about running your business that way and know that that's the service you provide. So once you're connected with your customers, whatever your goal is for the day, you go to the consultants and you connect with people on your team. Again, the team needs that personal connection as well as customers and your prospects. And as your team grows, it's funny because I was on a call today with a friend of mine in Georgia. Any of you in Georgia? Anyone? No? He's in Georgia. He's got 58,000 people on his team. And I said to him, how amazing is it, do you think, for people on your team to get a text message from you saying, hey man, I saw that you ranked up. I just wanted to say hey and tell you I'm proud of you. Think about the person you look up to in your organization. Would it be impactful? This is why we built this platform. And I want you guys to know that having a Facebook group and having live Zoom calls, those are all good things, but hearing from you personally a couple times a year, your team, it will light them up. You've got 2 people on your team now. It's going to be real easy to stay in touch. As you build your team big, you need a system. Make sense? And a reminder. Okay, so prospects, customers, consultants, there's our first half of our power hour. And my goals, it was 19 people. I'm done in 30 minutes. The second half of my power hour is my follow-ups list. There's nobody there. Oh my gosh. People aren't automatically added to follow-ups. You guys have to put people there. The follow-ups list is for the people who are interested. Okay, we put them on a follow-ups list. Now we're not just connecting to make their day. We're actually going to follow up as a professional. So let me just give you an example. So I messaged Kayla. Hey, hi Kayla. Hope you're having a great day. She says, oh, thanks for reaching out, Eric. The day has been going great. Now what? Now my goal is just to have a conversation with her. Okay, so ask questions, try to engage them in conversation, do your best to see if you can draw out from them what's going on in their life, and just ask them for an update. What have you been up to? Oh my gosh, it's been forever since we talked. Tell me what's going on with you. How was Halloween? Did you guys dress up? What did you guys do? I don't know, just catch up. Like normal. Imagine you ran into her at this grocery store. How would you catch up? Okay. And as you're having a normal conversation, it's not like you're waiting to pounce with Mary Kay. You're just having a normal conversation. You're listening and asking questions. And what I want you to do in the conversation is focus on, how can I help this person? How can I help this person? And it may not be a grand gesture. It might be small. It might be, she's going through something difficult. She needs someone to pray for her. And you just let her know, I'm going to pray for you. It might be that she needs something specific, like her car broke down and she needs to know a mechanic and you know one. Whatever it is, listen for ways to help this person. Okay? That's the number one thing. Find a way to help them. That's your goal of your conversations, and find out what's going on in their life. And then listen, there's a thing called the law of reciprocity. Have you guys heard this before? When they give you their full update of their life, it's totally normal for you to now update them on what's going on in your life. Well, let me tell you what we've been up to. We're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this. And this is the natural place where you're going to tell them about your Mary Kay business. It's not weird. It's not salesy. It's just, this is what I'm doing. And I want you guys to do it this way. Think about these 2 points. This is what I do and why I'm passionate about it. So what do? And it's not sell Mary Kay. What are the problems that you solve? What problems do you help people solve? And why are you passionate about those? That's how you need to be able to articulate your business. Okay. All right. So I'm talking to her and we're catching up and she's telling me about her life. I'm offering helpful hints and things like that. We're having a great conversation and I'm telling her about my life and I'm telling her about my business and why I'm passionate about it. And her natural response is probably something like, oh, cool. Good for you. That's great, Eric. Right. And depending on how enthusiastic she is, depending on what the comments that she made through the conversation, I'm just going to ask her, would you like to learn more about it? How would you like to learn more about what I'm doing? Right. And look, the conversation is going to steer itself if you're having a good convo. Like, one of the main reasons why I wanted to start a different business was because I didn't get to see my kids ever. Now I get to be home with my kids every day. So I might be telling somebody that and they may be thinking, I want to be home with my kids. Well, would you like to learn more about how I did it? Does it make sense? So just ask them, would you like more information on it? And if she says no, no big deal. Hey, it was great chatting with you. Thanks for chatting with me today. We'll stay in touch. Could you do me a favor though, Kayla? If you do come across anybody who needs help in this area, could you connect us? Because I'm on a mission to help as many people as I can. You always just plant that seed. So that's how a no feels in relationship marketing. No, I'm not really interested in learning more about it. No big deal. Could you keep me in mind if you're come across anyone else? You're starting to train her to be your advocate. If she says yes, I'm going to invite her to the next level, something. I'm going to get her on a 3-way call, or I'm going to get her to an event, right? If she wants more info. Does this make sense? Do you guys do 3-way calls, Kayla? Or events? What?
We kind of do like more in person, like coffee chats, like to team build in person, or 3-way video chats.
Okay, so let's pretend you and I are talking and you're interested. I'm going, great. Let's jump on a 3-way video chat tomorrow. Okay, so let me just show you how I'm going to log that in Teamzy real quick, and then we'll get to Q&A. So she's not on my dashboard, so I need to use the lookup bar to look her up. Okay, that brings me to her contact record. I'll open up the connect box. And so what I'm going to do is, let's say I'm going to log this as an invite to a 3-way call, or whatever's appropriate. Maybe it was an event, or you got together, you went to in person. Okay, but I'm going to just make this was invite to 3-way call just for ease. And what I'm going to do is, if on that 3-way call, I actually shared the business with her, I'm going to click on share. See the bottom left, share? And I'm going to move that down to business opportunity. So I'm actually logging that I shared my business opportunity with her. Right here, I'll add all my notes from the call, right? All of the things that were important to her that I learned about her. And then see this little icon with the calendar? This is my follow-up. So now I'm adding her to my follow-ups list. So I'll tell her, okay, great. I'm glad we had this chat. You talk to your spouse, whatever tonight, and I'll connect with you tomorrow, see what questions you have. Great. So I'm clicking that for tomorrow, and I've set a follow-up for her. You guys with me? So the important things here is that I logged the share and I set our follow-up. So now when I log that, it automatically adds her to my follow-ups list. Let me go to the dashboard and show you what happened. It logged that I did a share, so I got credit for that, and it added her to my follow-ups list. She's due tomorrow. What that effectively did was it removed her from my prospects list and put her on my follow-ups list. As long as she's on my follow-ups list, she's not going to come up on my up next list anymore. Does this make sense? So tomorrow when I do my power hour, I connect with prospects, customers, and consultants, just like I just did today, just like I showed you. Then I go to my follow-ups list and see who's due. If she's due, I'm going to send her a follow-up message. Let me just show you how easy this is to do. So again, just go to scripts and get a follow-up message. I put all my follow-up messages in Teamzy for you guys. Even on a free trial, they're there. So look, follow-up number 1, there it is. Here's how it reads. It says, hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Simple. Copy that script. Okay, are you guys with me? Change the name. Great. And then send the follow-up. Don't overthink it. Okay. Sent and logged. And now before you hit log connect, set a new follow-up or she comes off the list. Set a new follow-up. So let's say I'll follow up in 2 days now. And then you can leave yourself a note. I like to tell myself what's next. So I'm going to send her follow-up number 2 next. Okay. Send. Done. So now she's due again on Thursday. Does this make sense? This is very important. All of this, you guys are like, this all makes sense. This is where most people screw it up. The fortunes in the follow-up. You've heard this before. I know, Eric, fortunes in the follow-up. So what I want to do is I want to keep her on my follow-ups list. I'm going to follow up over time forever until she converts. Now that she's told me that she's interested, she's been on the 3-way video chat, whatever, like I'm going to keep following up with her. Now, let me explain something to you guys. Most people will follow up about 3 times, and then if they don't hear back, they quit. 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. Okay, 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. So if she's excited, great. I follow up tomorrow, no response. I follow up again Thursday, no response. Follow up again 3 days later, no response. What should I do? That's totally normal. This is what I'm telling you guys. It's totally normal. Most people don't respond at all for a long time. Have you guys experienced this? Just crickets. It's frustrating, isn't it? And after 3 or 4 responses, we start making things up. I guess she's not interested. I wonder if I offended her. Maybe I heard that her husband's a jerk. Could that be it? No, it's probably the economy. You know what I bet it is? It's the president's fault, right? We start coming up with stories. Those seem to be the most common things people blame everything on. Hey, man, I don't care who's the president. Doesn't affect what I'm doing for my family on a daily basis. I mean, I care, but you know what I mean? Doesn't really impact my life. So look, here's the thing I want you guys to know that's totally normal. You need to keep following up with people. How many of you truly believe you can help people? That's why you're here. Okay. Now, it's okay. Keep your hand up if you believe that following up 10 times would make you the most annoying person in the world and you're really kind of afraid to do it. Okay, good. We just had to get honest there for a second. Let me just shift your mindset on this really quick, and then we'll do Q&A. I want you to just take this concept in and internalize it. Following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. If you want to help people, know that 80% of them take 7 and 10 follow-ups, and this is how you help people. Following up is an act of love. Would it help if I taught you how to do it without being annoying? Okay, I'll do that really quick, and then we'll do Q&A. But I'll teach you how to do it without being annoying. People will thank you for following up 10 times. Thank you so much for following up. Okay? It's really simple. But I want you guys to understand that when you tell somebody, I'm going to follow up and I'm going to help you, and you give up because you're not hearing from them, you're actually communicating to them that you didn't mean it. You don't care about them. So I just want you guys, you got to have to manage this, because when you get nothing but silence, you're going to want to justify not keeping going. And I want you to know you need to keep going, because this is how we love people. Okay. Here's how to do it without being annoying. 2 principles real quick, and then we'll do Q&A if you've got questions. Principle number 1, when you're doing a follow-up with somebody, don't ask them to do anything. Don't ask them to do anything. They don't have to respond. They don't have to call you. They don't have to buy something. They don't have to come to your event. They don't have to do anything. Don't ask them to do anything. Don't even ask them to blink. That's the first thing. Okay? It's kind of like I'm taking responsibility for all the action. I'm just reaching out to you. The second thing that you want to do in your follow-ups is your follow-up should be short and always written out. No voice messages. They need to be able to read it, and it has to be short enough they can read the entire message without ever opening it. How many of you guys don't open messages if you're not able to respond right now? We all do this. Just assume they're not going to open your messages, because just assume they're not going to respond. In most cases, they won't respond. It's not because they don't like you. It's not because they're not interested. It's because they're busy right now. In this exact moment, they can't do it. The dog's throwing up on the baby. They're driving their car. They're in the middle of preparing raw chicken for dinner. They're not going to touch their phone. But what they will do is look at it and get the whole message and then go back to what they were doing. You just want them to get the message. Does this make sense? Following up is about giving. So when you talk to somebody about the business and they're excited, what you've done is you've filled them with hope. And every follow-up message gives them a little dose of hope. They feel it for a split second. It lifts them up. Over time, that builds up in them and they respond. Usually around like 7, 8 messages. Long after most people have given up, you'll get the, I'm so sorry I haven't responded to your messages. Thank you for staying in touch. I really appreciate it. Does this make sense? So guys, here's how we do it. 5 days a week. Go into Teamzy on your phone, on your computer, whatever. Message the people on the list. Send them a message. When people are interested, share the business. Put them on your follow-ups list. And then so that follow-ups list gets filled up. It's constantly getting filled up. Some people will be on that list for a year. Some people will be on the list for 3 days on that follow-ups list. You keep following up with people. Every month, a portion of them will join the team, become customers. Every month, it compounds. You get new people joining the team, get them into a 30-day free trial of Teamzy, get them doing the same thing. Are you with me? It's like a simple thing that you just need to put as part of your day. You guys are really good at brushing your teeth at least twice a day. Teamzy is like that. It's just something you do every day that builds the business. Make sense? Okay, cool. Do you guys have questions? I know there's a lot more I can show you, but I'm looking at my clock going, I'm already overstaying my welcome as far as talking to you guys. If you have questions, unmute. Feel free to ask me anything.
Eric, thank you so much. Like seriously, like my heart is just like overflowing with gratitude towards you and your company. Like I know this will be a game changer for all of our businesses. Wow. So amazing. I do have a couple of questions if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I ask. So when you hear from someone, like if I'm in Teamzy, kind of having focus time and I'm getting replies back, and now I'm going to start a conversation, am I going to record another note in their profile that I've now conversed with them?
That's a good question. So you don't have to record all the back and forth in Teamzy. If you've used a CRM at work, they make you put all the back and forth in, right? But for you as the owner, you don't have to do the back and forth. What you need to know, Teamzy needs to know that you initiated a connect on a certain date so that it can cycle them back for you, right? Mm-hmm. So if you have back and forth for a few days that maybe it doesn't lead anywhere, like it doesn't lead to a share, then mm-hmm. just let them flow back into Teamzy, and when they come up again, you'll connect again. But what I do want you to record is, like you're going back and forth, and then now they're interested, so you're going to bring them to an event or something. So log that you invited them to an event, or log that you shared the business. That's when I would go back and log that, because when I first started using Teamzy, I tried to do all the back and forth, and I found I was doing too much homework. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so, but if you really want to put the whole conversation in Teamzy, and so what I would do is when they come up like 4 months later, right before I connected, I would paste the whole conversation into the last connect. So you could do that if you wanted to. You open up you open up the original connect, hit edit, and then you can paste the whole conversation in that one box if you want to. But it's not necessary, because look, if I'm talking to you on Messenger and you come up on Teamzy, I open Messenger, there's the whole conversation. Same thing in my text app. So if I'm texting you, there's the whole conversation. So I don't have to go into Teamzy to read the conversation. I just need Teamzy to say, you need to connect with Kayla today. That's the important piece, is that it knows when I last connected with you so that it brings you back at the right time. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Have you noticed, Eric, a difference between people that text versus using Facebook Messenger? If there's a better response?
I think it just depends on what people use. Facebook Messenger is actually the #1 communication platform in the world now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's huge, and people are using it. So even though like the millennials say they don't use Facebook, they do message. They do use Messenger a lot. So I just find that people respond really well to Messenger, though. I mean, it just depends on who it is. Some people I text, some people I message, but a lot of times when you meet people, I don't know how active you guys are on Facebook, but a lot of times you connect with people on Facebook and all you have is their Facebook. You don't have their phone number, things like that. So you can always, that's at least Facebook allows you to always, you meet somebody, you just get their name, boom, and you've got a way to connect with them. But I would say Messenger and text are probably the most effective platforms as far as response rate. And then other social networks like Instagram. If you meet somebody on Instagram, it makes sense that you would message them on Instagram, right? Or whatever, Snapchat or whatever you're using. But in general, those work the best, but you want to, any sort of direct messaging thing is going to get the best result. Email, for example, is like, you would never put a quarter in a slot machine if the odds were the same as getting a response to an email, right? It's like less than 10%. The response rate for email is like 2% is normal. And then if they're a friend of yours, it goes up to 10%. So I just want you guys to know, like, for example, with email, like, I love email. It's a great way to send people information and send them links and send them attachments. But I would always text somebody and say, check your email. I just emailed you the info I talked about. I would always text people and say, you got an email from me right now. Go get it. Otherwise, it just gets lost, right?
Eric, what's the easiest way to update every month your customer list and your consultant lists?
Okay. The easiest way is when you get a new customer is to do it right then. Now, if they're already in Teamzy as a prospect, then what you want to do is just change their status. So for example, you are in my Teamzy right now as a prospect. So let's say you become a customer. What I want to do is on your contact record, I just want to click on customer. Okay, that changed your status. And then what I want to do is log the sale. Let's say you just, let's say you joined the team, or no, you're becoming a customer. I'm just going to click other, and then I'll tag the specific items that you got and click save. Okay, and now you're a customer. If you ended up coming through as a consultant, then I would click on consultant, personally sponsored. Does that make sense? Now, let's say you get a new customer that's not in Teamzy and you're adding them to Teamzy. The best way is just to add them immediately, put in their name, and they're coming in as a customer, and then you create the contact. So the best way to do it is as you go, just add people each day by clicking this. But if you fall behind and you want to do like a big update at the end of the month, then you can get your whole list again from your back office and put it in Teamzy. Teamzy is only going to import the new people. It won't re-import the old people. Same thing goes with your Facebook friends list and anything else. You can do like the full export and import if you want, and it will only bring the new people in.
Okay, that's really good to know.
Okay, let me give you guys a couple of quick action steps, and then if you have a couple more questions, I'll take them. I forgot I got to give you action steps. I got to send you on your way with something to do. So here we go. If you're not already using Teamzy, get your 30-day free trial. We talked about that. It's a no-brainer. Teamzy.com, 30 days free. Let your team know it's free for 30 days. If you're already in the free trial, set up your subscription so that you don't miss a beat when the trial ends. Because we don't take your payment info, your trial will just shut down. Okay? You won't lose your data or anything. It's still there. So if you do sign up later, it'll be there. But we want to make sure that you don't miss a beat. So make sure you get set up. Teamzy, by the way, after the 30-day free trial is $29.99 a month. So it's less than $1 a day to have all this organized in your business. Okay. And if you're using it, it'll definitely pay for itself. I recommend you get a 30-day success partner to work the free trial with you. Now I know you guys are a couple weeks into this, but if you want to start like hey, let's start a 30-day challenge or something, get a success partner. Say, let's do this together. Hold each other accountable. And what you can do is you take a screenshot each day of your dashboard when you're done and you message it over to your partner. This also works great in groups of 3. Groups of 3 work even better than partners. What happens is maybe you didn't do anything today, but you get that message from the partner. Now I got to go do my Teamzy. And I have to tell you, it's so true, right? You'll get so much more out of that 30 days. It could be the best 30 days of your business, as opposed to, I really liked what that guy Eric said, and I'm going to go check it out and play with it a couple times over the next month, and then it expires. Like, that's great, and I appreciate you taking some time to look at it. I really want you to blow your business up in a good way this month, so that not only will you be my customer, but I want you to get awesome results. Okay, and then I'm going to give you a 5-day Teamzy challenge. 5-day challenge. I want you just to try this. Connect with 100 people in 5 days. Okay? And I don't mean actually talk to 100. I mean message 100 people. Message 100 people. That's 20 a day. That's kind of what I demonstrated today. You could do that in less than 30 minutes. Just try it 5 days in a row. 20 a day for 5 days in a row. If you do that, it's kind of hard for me to describe what you'll experience. You will never believe the stories you tell yourself again about nothing's happening. It's so slow. I don't know how to get things going. You'll be like, oh my gosh, Why am I having so many conversations after 5 days? It's going to blow your mind how much momentum. Who's in for the 5-day challenge? Who's going to try it? Just try it. Okay. I better give you a couple tips on how to manage all those incoming messages. What I did was I would do my power hour early in the morning before my kids got up. So I did it really early and then I went to work. How many of you have jobs? Jobs. Okay. Jobs or kids, it's a full-time job. That's a job times 2. So I would go to work and then at part of my lunch hour, I'd respond to incoming messages. So I'd let them build up for a few hours. And then I do it again in the evening after dinner when the kids were in bed. So what that did was it kept me off my phone all day long, kept me sane. So maybe for 30 minutes, I would say, nobody interrupt me. I'm just responding to messages for the next 30 minutes. Does that make sense? That will help you manage it. But when you do the 5-day challenge, let's say half the people respond. You'll be talking to 50 people on Friday. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. All right. Did you have another question, Kayla? I cut you off. I'm sorry. I wanted to make sure I got action steps out.
No, thank you for that. I appreciate that. And actually, Eric, you'll be excited to hear that all the girls that are in this call, we all have partnered up for the last 2 weeks with Teamzy.
Awesome.
So we have all been holding each other accountable, which has been
Great.
super fun. Okay, so then one question I have is about the tags, because I just started using those. And I want to know what's the best way, because I've been kind of marking by like product that they're using or maybe geographical location, but how can we use that and maximize that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I did a full 40-minute training on this in the help center of Teamzy. If you guys want to check that out.
Okay.
But those are 2 examples that you gave are great ways to use it. I definitely think you should tag all the products that they use so what a tag does is it leaves a note for something you want to remember about that person, but it also creates a group. So every person you put that tag on, it's a group of people who have that in common. So she's tagging geographical location. So if I'm doing a local event, I know I can pull these tags up and have lists of people who live in that area. If you guys have a product that's really popular and your company releases a new product that's complementary to that product, then you can click the tag for the original product and have everyone who's bought it from you. And then you have a list of people to tell about the new product release. So tags are really useful. We just celebrated Veterans Day. If you tagged all your veterans, you'd be able to pull a list of everyone to wish a happy Veterans Day to thank them for their service, right? It's nice to put a post on social media that's patriotic, but how much more impactful is it to get a message from somebody that says, not only did I remember that you were a veteran, but I wanted to take a minute. Remember, time and connection. That's how you deepen a relationship, right? I remembered that you were, and I just wanted to say thanks again. Happy Veterans Day. Wow. Same thing like mothers, probably everyone you know is a mom, but still like Mother's Day, like those are great tags to have, just to have those extra groups, additional touches you could do with people, if that makes sense. The other thing that I use tags for, you guys do events and things like that sometimes, gatherings. So you can use tags. Let's say I have a gathering coming up on the 21st of November. I could have a tag that's like November, 11/21 event invite. So everybody that I invite to the event, I can tag with the invite tag. And then I might have a tag that says 11/21 attended. So then I can say, okay, these are the people who actually came, so I can follow up with them. And these are the people who were invited but didn't come. And so I can invite them to my next one. So tags allow you to do a bunch of stuff and kind of customize your Teamzy contacts however you want, if that makes sense. So you can do things in addition to just your daily power hour. Try to say power hour. I don't know why I coined that term. It's so hard to say. Power hour.
I have a couple questions if you still have a little bit of time.
Sure.
Okay. So is there a way to like edit the grouping? So we have prospect, customers, and consultants. Is there a way to add or personalize that at all?
The only way to do that is with the tags, like we were just talking about.
Okay.
And it won't change your dashboard view, but you can use those lists on the team page.
Great. Okay. And then you can have multiple people under, like one person can have multiple tags, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
You should see how many tags some people have in their Teamzy accounts.
And then the other thing, am I able to edit my activity? So how many customers, prospects, and consultants I'm reaching out to any other way than just adjusting income?
Yeah. Well, okay. So let me show you how to do it. Um, can you see my screen? I know I can't see you, but you can see me, right?
Yes,
Okay,
I can
so
see
if I go to the Teamzy dashboard, right here where it says edit daily goals.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so well, you might not see it if you're on your phone. So look, edit daily goals. That takes you to this page, and you don't have to actually change the income goal. You can just click continue, and here you can actually customize each one.
Oh my gosh, that's going to make me love this.
Okay, so for example, let's say you don't have any consultants yet. You could make that one a 0 and then change this one to 13. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you're brand new and your goal is 150, then you would put 19 on prospects and put zeros in the other ones. Okay, and then you can save that. And if I go back to my dashboard, you'll see, oops, that's not the dashboard. If I go back to my dashboard, you'll see that it changed those goals.
That's going to be so much better because I only have 3 consultants and it tells me I have to do 4 consultant follow-ups every.
Oh yeah, if you only have 3 consultants, make that a 0 goal. You don't really need
Wow.
Teamzy to remind you to talk to those people. Not
Talk
yet,
to 3 people now.
right?
Okay.
Now, the other thing that's cool is you can add dailies, the little daily checkoff things, those little accountability things. You can add things. So if you go to edit, you can add custom dailies. Like for example, on mine it has devotional time, right? So if you added, let's say you added devotional time, now I need to remember to exercise, use my products, do my devotional time, my personal development. Did I post on social? So you can add things to this, which is kind of cool. Things that you feel are like keystone moments. These are things that are like these 4 that you can't change: exercise, use your products, do personal development work, and post on social. Those are things that I put there because I know that you have to do those to be successful, and I want them in your face, bugging you. I know there's days where I don't exercise and it's like, that bugs me. Right? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, or this too. It's like, well, if you get to the end of the day and you don't have time and you haven't done any personal development, then you can go on Teamzy and watch one of my videos or read one of my blogs. That'll count. Just quick. Then you can check it off and say, go away. You're being annoying. Okay. All right, Brandy, did you have another one or was that all the
I
ones?
had one more.
Okay.
So for your follow-up times, you have like tomorrow, 2 days, 4 days, and then a bunch of other ones too. And then you have a custom one.
Yeah.
Is there any way to add one to the normal drop-down list? Because our 21-day challenge runs on 3 days. So my booking system, I follow up every 3 days. So I'm consistently choosing 3 days, and I have an option for 2 and 4.
Oh man. That's funny. I don't know the answer to that question. I guess it's
Okay.
possible. So you just have to hit custom date every time.
Yeah, and it's really
Open the
annoying.
calendar. Yeah.
Okay, so that's just what I have to do?
Right now, that's what you have to do. I'll ask the developers if that's something we can do.
Yes. Great. Thank you. That was all I had. I appreciate your time.
Sure thing. Okay, well, I better send you guys on your way. I appreciate you hanging in so long with me. Hopefully this was really helpful for you. I'm excited for your team that you guys are using Teamzy. I think this is you're gonna see your team take off, which is great. And Kayla, I will send you this recording probably in the morning so that you can have it for the rest of the team who didn't make it. But thanks again for having me. Thanks for being part of our Teamzy family. God bless you all. Have a great night.
Yes, God bless you. Thank you, Eric. Thank you so much.